Hello friends, yesterday was the 31st of May, which may not appear to be an auspicious date, but in fact marks the 5-year anniversary of PhilosophyTube. I started this channel 5 years ago yesterday. As I'm recording this, we're just on the edge of 200,000 subscribers. I'm not sure what's going to come first, the actual date of the 5-year anniversary or me hitting 200,000, and it's just, yeah, I am continuously just blown away by what's happened. I remember I had like 100 subscribers at the end of day one and was like, wow, I'm really onto something here. But I mean, even in my wildest dreams, never thought it would become a job. Never thought it would become like my main source of income, and never thought it would take off in the way that it has. It's funny actually. The other day I got a photo from somebody who was in class, and it was a photo of a class full of kids watching my video. And I was like, where is this? And they said, oh, I'm in school in Moscow and we're watching your video. I was like, whoa. Like, just people all over the world, just this classroom full of kids like watching my video. And I was like, wow. And they all looked so young as well. No, I'm only 25, but I was like, wow, this is just like, it filled me with a sense of responsibility, really. And it made me reflect on just what an amazing journey it's been and how lucky I feel to have done it. And as it is the 5-year anniversary, I thought it would be fun to go back and rewatch my first ever video. I have not watched this in 5 years. I don't know what it's gonna be like. This is gonna be my totally unscripted reactions, so let's dive right in.
This episode is all about whether or not you...
Oh no, like that the horrible logo. Oh no. Oh no. Just the awful logo and the awful music. Man. Oh, that's some bad
If you've
music.
ever so much as dipped your toe in the...
Whoa! Oh my word. Oh my word. That's... Wow, I look so different. Wow. That's a very unfortunate haircut. My face is like a totally different shape. And I'm like not even centered in the... I'm not even like... Like my head's cut off. Like, that's real bad. So what I use to make the show now is a DSLR camera that's got like a screen that flips out and you can flip it around. So I can actually see as I'm recording this, like my image, I can see what it looks like. But back when I started, I just had... it was just like a little crappy digital camera. And I couldn't see what it, so I just had to like set it up and then like guess basically that I was in frame and like flip back and forth and see whether it was working. But like, whoa, right.
vast ocean that is philosophy, then you will have heard the phrase, I think, therefore I am. First written by 17th century French philosopher and Captain Hook lookalike, René Descartes. In his meditation...
Oh my, the René with like Descartes. I used to edit in like iMovie. It was where I started. I started in iMovie and then I went on to Premiere Pro and now I use Final Cut Pro. And just those 3 images was really quick. Like, took me like 40 minutes to edit those 3 images in together. Why am I now on the other side of the screen?
On first philosophy, Descartes tried to find absolutely certain knowledge, and what he realised was that a lot of what he thought he knew was actually open to doubt. For instance, I think I'm making...
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. Like, I used to do this thing where I would do like one paragraph and then I would like cut and I would appear on the other side of the screen. And I guess I just thought that like it would keep people sort of visually interested rather than just have like the same shot over and over again. And it didn't occur to me to like do what I did now, where like I have a set that makes it more visually interesting, or like have stock footage or stuff. I'll just like cut in and out. And yeah, I just used to cut from opposite sides of the screen, and it's just like, now that I know something about editing, like how to cut shots together, I'm just like, that's just really bad. But whoa.
A video right now, but I could be asleep and dreaming, or hallucinating, or
Inception
living in
memes.
virtual reality. Descartes was
Nice.
especially concerned with the possibility that he might be dreaming his entire life. He famously wrote, "There are no definitive signs by which to distinguish being awake from being asleep."
Oh no. And the other thing about doing like the split sides thing is I would like film in 3 blocks. I would film all the shots on this side, then all the shots in the middle, and then all the shots on the right. So I was like rather than now where I film a video in like chronological order, I was like constantly like not really knowing what I was saying because it wasn't related to the whole thing. And it meant that because I then filmed them at different times, so sometimes the lighting and the color temperature of a video will change as I film it, but because I would like film them in different blocks, now it just like cuts back and forth, and at that stage I knew nothing about like editing for color. So that's a bad font as well. You can't really read that. That's an unfortunate freeze frame too.
Now you're probably thinking, that's a stupid thing to be worried about. I know I'm not dreaming because I'm not flying, or Batman, or having dinner with Olivia Wilde. But the point is that when you're dreaming, most of the time you think it's real. And you think this is real too. So how do you know you aren't dreaming?
That music's
like
really,
now?
really... Oh no!
Descartes actually...
Oh no! I was a young man. I didn't know any better about memes. Don't mess with memes, kids. Because when you're young, everyone will be like, try memes, they're really good. But just become your own meme. That's the future.
Is one step further. You see, in a dream, you can still know things like
what
2
is up
2
with
makes
the
4,
lighting?
and all triangles have 3 sides.
What is
These
up
are
with
just
like
truisms,
the
tautologies.
sound
but Descartes
quality?
chose to imagine an all-powerful evil demon whose sole purpose was to trick
Script
you
is,
about
like,
everything
fine.
he thought he knew. Everything that you think you know, the evil demon could be deceiving you with his fantastic powers. Now, that sounds like a bit of a crazy idea, and yeah, a lot of
Just the
philosophy
GIFs.
is a bit...
Oh man, the GIFs just took so long to edit in iMovie. Just it's like so. I know this is bad, like, but like so much effort went into this to like launch the channel and be like, yeah, it was. I mean, to be fair, like it's the best I could do at the time, so I'm still like proud of it. And you know, you got to start somewhere. I look back now and I'm like, oh, the image quality is really bad, the sound quality is really bad, but you know, that's best I could do in 2013. So
pie in the sky. We normally assume that we know things because if we had that kind of skepticism all the time, then we just wouldn't get anything done. But Descartes wasn't happy with things
Fair
that
enough.
seemed
Colour temperature
true
change
or
again?
were probably true. He wanted to be absolutely certain. So he tried to
face is
doubt
just such a
everything
different
he
shape.
could. If there was even the slightest chance that something might be false, he disbelieved it.
I used to like
In
I
order to
filmed
find
this
something
in my parents' bedroom.
He
I think.
disbelieved in the external world, in his own body, in other people, everything, to try and find something certainly true. And what he found was that he couldn't doubt his own existence. Just the act of doubting it confirmed that there was someone there doing the doubting. Hence, I think, therefore I am. Now, Descartes went on to build a whole lot of other
way
stuff
off
on top of
centre.
that, but we're going to stick with that for now because
It's probably
it
copyrighted music.
might not be as
I didn't monetize the channel in those days.
Descartes doesn't do a great job of spelling it out, but what he's driving at is that he can't doubt that he is thinking, since doubting itself is a kind of thinking. And since
Script
thoughts
is just
require
better
a
than I
thinker,
remember.
That's how he knows he must exist. But 19th century German philosopher and mustachioed badass Friedrich Nietzsche, not Nietzsche, Nietzsche, thought that thoughts
Again, that took like 20, 30 minutes of solid editing to get that in.
require a thinker isn't indubitable. Thoughts might exist as some kind of free-floating chain of unconnected ideas. So the most that Descartes could say was that thinking is going on. So there's that to think about. But there's also another question too, namely, does indubitable mean true?
Ooh, the
It
twist.
seems like a lot of
The
things
twist
are
around.
indubitable. I could find it indubitable that I'm Napoleon, but that doesn't make it true.
Wow, just some
But it's important
copyrighted
to remember
Futurama
what
clips
Descartes
just
means when he
chucked
uses
right
the
in
word
there.
Doubt here. When he says he's going to doubt anything that isn't indubitable in order to find certain knowledge, what he means is he's going to disbelieve anything that might be wrong. If I'm totally convinced that I'm
Oh
Napoleon,
god, look
then
at
I might
the
at least
look at the kind of grain in there. I think I like really turned up the exposure in post production and like didn't really know what I was doing because I remember I remember when I used to capture it used to be really, it wasn't dark outside but just the camera wasn't very good, so it was like capturing really dark footage, and to have like a brighter picture I was like putting it up artificially and it just like looks bad. How is my face just a totally different shape? It's like square. And that haircut is real bad. I remember because when I used to go to school, which was like pretty recently when this was filmed. So I was only like a year out of high school, maybe a year and a bit. At my high school, if you were a boy, you weren't allowed to have your hair touching your collar. It all had to be really short. So I guess I just like grew it out for a while, and it went through when I got out, and it just went through a really awkward phase of just looking, well, like this.
Admit that I could be wrong about that. Heck, even Napoleon himself might entertain the thought that he could be wrong about his identity. But if I think that I'm thinking, I can't be wrong about that.
You're taking some
Since
frames off
if
that.
I was, then I wouldn't be considering the problem. The issue is whether or not I can say that it's definitely
That's some
me
bad
doing the
framing.
thinking, i.e. do thoughts
bad.
require a thinker. Nietzsche and Bertrand Russell thought that there was at least a chance Descartes could be wrong about that. Bertrand Russell was the one who suggested that thoughts might exist as a chain of unconnected ideas. But that's kind of a weird idea. Like, what would thoughts even be if there was no one there having them? What do you think? Leave a comment with
That's
your
it. That's
suggestions and
it.
questions. And
Oh
we'll
god, the
answer them in
shadow,
next video.
the shadow on the walls. I used to film like right backed up against the wall. You can see now if I go right up against the wall, it casts more of a shadow. Now when I film, I like make sure I come away and like I angle it so you don't get so much of a harsh shadow. But like, that's really bad. And I had no lights in those days, so what you can't see now is just behind the camera is like a big LED light that I used to light my videos. But in those days, all I had was just sunlight. I hadn't yet learned the trick of like. So you can see now, I'm not totally front on like that, right? I'm like here. It just accentuates like the cheekbones a little more. I hadn't yet learned that trick. Hadn't quite mastered my angles, as they say. What do the comments say, I wonder, after 5 years? Wow. It's like a ghost town. It's like an old, like 4 years ago. Where's the most recent one? That one's from 4 months ago. 5 months ago. It's like a little time capsule. Jim Groth! It's Jim Groth! Jim was my first ever subscriber. He was. He would have subscribed 5 years ago yesterday. Jim subscribed. He was right in there at the first. When I publicly said on the channel that I was a feminist, Jim just like very publicly it was like, I don't want to watch you anymore and I don't believe in feminism, and like, yeah, he just, Jim, where are you? Jim, if you're out there, Jim, you can come home anytime. It's wild to think that it all started like 5 years ago yesterday in my mum and dad's bedroom with a crappy little camera. What an incredible 5 years. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for supporting the show and just enabling me to have this incredibly rare opportunity. I suppose it's not just my anniversary and Philosophy Tube's anniversary, it's our anniversary. So, happy anniversary, all of you. Here's to the next 5 years. Here's to the next 200,000 subscribers. I'll keep it going as long as I can. And I hope I'll be here for a long while yet. A lot of you probably know already, but I started the channel because the government tripled tuition fees. And I just started out being like, I'll make videos about what I know about philosophy so people can learn it for free. And I never imagined that it would take off. There would be like an appetite for that. And I think about the journey I've gone on, like as a young man and as a creative since then, and how differently I view the world now as well. And it's amazing that, because I get it's like fan mail and when people recognize me and so on, and they ask, I bumped into a guy a while ago and he said, oh, you helped me pass my exams, and I was like, yeah, you did that yourself. But I'm really glad I could help. But I know this is kind of corny, but I really think that doing this has made me a better person, has enabled me to learn and grow. And it's people are always like down about like, oh, the internet's a really horrible place, or like internet comments are really bad. But genuinely, like reading all your comments over the last 5 years, I've grown as a man. I've learned things that I could never have imagined before. I've like become, I think, more empathetic and curious and open, and that's amazing. So thank you. Happy anniversary.